Today, we are going to talk about one of the deepest things Omar Khayyam ever said, yet something we ignore every single day. Our modern life is a constant race, a hunt for answers to questions that simply have no answers. We demand an explanation of the meaning. We want to see the beginning, and we want a guarantee for the end. But Khayyam offers a different, much calmer perspective on this eternal hustle. We feel this constant pressure to know more, to plan better, and to control everything around us. Khayyam says, origin, meaning, and the end. These are the world's riddles. He states clearly that the very foundations of our existence are unsolvable puzzles. We waste a staggering amount of energy trying to find a map, where there is only fog. This idea goes against everything in our modern culture of productivity. We believe that if we just read one more book, we will finally crack the code of life. But this craving for perfect knowledge is the very source of our greatest anxiety. He continues, what orders are hidden behind it all? We search for universal laws to explain why one person is lucky and another is not. At work, we demand clear instructions to avoid mistakes. In finance, we seek the perfect investment strategy to eliminate risk. Khayyam essentially asks, what if these orders are so vast that we, like ants, are simply incapable of grasping them? If we truly accepted this, our approach to planning would change completely. We would stop torturing ourselves for not being able to predict inflation or political shifts. Instead of trying to steer the entire mechanism of the world, we would focus on just one step. This liberation from the duty of being an omniscient prophet would be a massive relief. Look at how we live. We try to squeeze the unknown into very rigid financial frames. We budget 6 months ahead, trying to account for every unexpected expense. We take out a large loan, hoping our job remains stable for the next 10 years. This constant calculation gives us an illusion of control over chaos, which Khayyam describes as a natural state. We fear this chaos because it threatens our material well-being. The fear of being fired makes us work overtime, even when we are burnt out. We think that if we behave perfectly, we can buy ourselves a guarantee for the future. This is our modern version of seeking those orders hidden behind life. But Khayyam is very clear. It is like a circle, without beginning or end. He sees life not as a straight line of progress, but as a cycle that repeats. We earn money to pay off a loan, to take a new loan, to buy a thing that will soon be old. This is the circle of financial dependence, and the endless need for more. In this cycle, we always postpone our peace to the future. Once I close this debt, I can finally breathe. This waiting becomes an endless marathon, where the finish line keeps moving away. We become hostages to our own need for certainty. We are obsessed with planning, but reality strikes back every time. One unexpected bill is enough to shatter the perfect plan. And then, the nervousness starts all over again. This struggle against the circle is what exhausts us the most. This anxiety is most acute in a feeling Khayyam describes as being like fatherless descendants. It is a metaphor for a total sense of detachment, an absence of true guidance. We were born into a world where we were given many rules, but no true understanding of the meaning. We feel lonely in our financial decisions because no one can give us a 100% guarantee. So, we try to create a father figure for ourselves, in the form of a large bank deposit. We think a big number on a screen will protect us from the world's chaos. This deposit becomes the symbol of our artificial heritage. We try to find meaning in career milestones and high salaries. Society pressures us to constantly perform success. But when we reach the top, we often feel empty. Khayyam knew even then that external attributes do not grant internal peace. When was the last time you stayed awake, worrying about money, trying to solve that same world riddle? This worry arises exactly when we take responsibility for controlling the uncontrollable. We are so exhausted by the search for meaning that we forget to simply live. If we accepted that we are orphans in this sense, perhaps we would stop seeking validation in social standards. We wouldn't chase the perfect job or the perfect plan. Instead, we would create our own, smaller, more reachable orders. This realization removes the weight of eternal responsibility for global processes. Think about this. How often do we say to ourselves, "I will start living once I have enough"? We treat our lives like a waiting room, a temporary space we must endure before the real life begins. Khayyam once wrote, "Tomorrow is beyond our reach. Today is all we have." In our world of digital banking and long-term investments, we have become masters of the future, but strangers to the present. We invest our health to gain wealth. Then we spend that wealth to regain health. It is a paradox that Khayyam observed 1,000 years ago. And yet, we still fall into the same trap. Imagine if you stopped viewing your bank account as a scorecard for your worth. What if it was just a tool for your comfort? Nothing more? We spend hours, weeks, years, analyzing market trends, worrying about the price of gold, or the stability of a currency. But we rarely spend even 5 minutes, simply listening to the silence of the morning, or feeling the warmth of a cup of tea in our hands. This is the noise that Khayyam speaks of. It is the noise of a mind that is always somewhere else. We are physically here, but mentally, we are 5 years ahead, calculating risks, fearing losses. Ask yourself, what is the cost of this constant preparation? The cost is the life you are not living right now. Every minute spent in existential panic over a global order is a minute stolen from your own existence. Khayyam invites us to a radical act of rebellion, to be happy even when the future is not guaranteed, to be at peace even when the world is in chaos. It sounds impossible, doesn't it? But it only feels impossible, because we have been trained to believe that peace must be earned through control. But true peace, the kind of peace that stays with you even in the storm, cannot be earned. It can only be accepted. It is the realization that the storm will happen regardless of your efforts, and that you are capable of standing within it, without losing your soul. For centuries, one voice has offered a different path to peace, a profound wisdom that cuts through the noise of our daily lives. We present to you the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam. This timeless collection of verses invites you to reconsider your perspective on life, on purpose, and the relentless race for more. The reflections of Omar Khayyam remind us of the importance of the present moment, of how to find calm amidst uncertainty, and how to free ourselves from the burden of controlling what is beyond our power. Discover the elegant simplicity and depth that has resonated in the hearts of thinkers and truth-seekers for generations. Learn to overcome the circle of anxiety and find true peace, not in the pursuit of an ephemeral future, but in the richness of every single moment. The Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam is more than just a book. It is a journey to your inner tranquility. Link to the book below the video. The key to peace, according to Khayyam, lies in letting go of the need to know these orders. If we cannot control the origin, the meaning, or the end, then it is worth focusing on what is happening now. This isn't a call to be irresponsible. It is a call to simplify. It means that when we plan a budget, we do it for convenience, not as a guarantee. We put money in a deposit not because it shields us from fate, but because it is a practical step. We stop treating financial tools as magical charms. They become just tools. This attitude removes the emotional charge from financial problems. The fear of job loss doesn't disappear, but it stops paralyzing you. You realize that if it happens, you will act within the circumstances, rather than within a fixed 20-year plan. Has it ever happened that the money arrived, but the peace did not? That is because the brain is already wired to look for the next threat, the next riddle. Even after a raise, we immediately worry about how to keep it. The circle keeps spinning. regardless of your bank balance. Accepting that life is a circle brings a strange relief. We no longer fight reality. We begin to flow with it, but with awareness. Khayyam does not offer us answers. He offers us better questions. Instead of asking, "What is the meaning of life?" it is better to ask, "How can I live this specific day with the most value?" This is a shift in focus. From the global to the local. If people truly listened to Khayyam, they would take fewer unnecessary loans just to fit someone else's orders. We would spend less energy trying to prove our significance through status. Financial wisdom would be found in enough, not in maximum. This doesn't mean giving up on savings. It means doing it without the drama and without the existential panic. Planning turns from a demand of fate into a useful habit that helps organize today. This is a vital psychological shift. The realization that we are all in this big circle together creates a deep sense of community. We are all in the same uncertain situation, regardless of our salary. This shared lack of control can actually bring people closer. So, the main lesson today: stop fighting the global riddles. Let the unknown remain unknown, as Khayyam advised. Find your peace in the small things, because the great order will not submit to you anyway. Leave a comment. Did you feel a sense of relief when you stopped demanding ready-made answers from life?